Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Environmental Justice Now. My name is Leah Jones, and I am the organizing coordinator and water justice campaign lead here at Virginia Interfaith Power and Light. And before we get started today, I'd like to do a brief land acknowledgement as usual. And while we are on a video call and many of us are joining in from different places, it's really important to remind ourselves that we do gather on the unceded land of the indigenous peoples. I am joining in from so-called Richmond, Virginia, and I am currently located on the land of the Powhatan and Chickahominy peoples. So if you are unsure whose land you are on and you would like to learn more and find out, you can always visit native-land.ca here on the screen to find out. Back in the mix with more GA updates this week. Things are winding down and starting to come to a close in the 2023 General Assembly session. So this update for this week is going to be another short and quick just check in with the updates that has happened just in the past week since our last update last Friday. And we still haven't heard yet if there's going to be an extension of this session quite yet. I'll talk more about that a little bit later. But for now, we'll just talk about a couple of the bills that we've been mentioning in the past couple weeks. Over the past couple weeks that have just recently had action since we've last shared an update. So as you all know, our bills that we led on this session did not make it this far. So no updates on those, but a few updates on the other bills that we have been supporting in coalition with our coalition partners. Bills primarily these bills that I'm talking about are primarily to restore authority over electric rates to state regulators. That's what these bills are addressing. And in case you haven't been on past episode or checked out or heard about these bills already in past updates, SB 1321 and HB 1604, these bills do address the Affordable Energy Act. It's titled the Virginia Electric Utility Regulation Act, SB 1321, sponsored by Senator Delegate by Senator McClellan, and HB 1604 was sponsored by Delegate Sullivan and Delegate Ware. Both these bills actually have been voted on and read all 3 times. It did pass in the Senate. HB 1604 passed out of the Senate just a couple of days ago on the 21st with 40 yeses and 0 nos. So that's very exciting. Also exciting, SB 1321 in the House was actually also voted to pass on the 21st as well. And that was with 99 yeas and 0 nays. So definitely a really awesome win and definitely a really important advancement, hopefully, to create more protection and more authority to state to over electric rates to state like regulators. So great news about SB 1321 and HB 1604. That's definitely something to celebrate. Now more about some other bills that we've also been supporting that addresses these electric rates and providing authority over these rates. These bills are SB 1417 and HB 2267. these bills address the RACs. So the bill is actually titled Virginia Electric Utility Regulation Act. And the bills, SB 1417, is sponsored by Senator Sutherland, and HB 2267 is sponsored by Delegate Wilt. So what these bills actually do is that they allow the SEC to decide, instead of a utility, whether it's better for customers to use base rates or what we call RACs, rate adjustment clauses. This bill's also, well, if you don't know about RACs have contributed to 66% of bill increases for Dominion Energy customers since they were established in 2007. So that's just a little bit about the bills. Last week, we were able to let you know that the bill had been referred to the Commerce and Labor Committee, and that it could be up, and turns out it was. It was just up in committee on the 20th. And the bill was actually, unfortunately, passed by indefinitely in that committee with 7 yeas and 6 nays. And this was an upsetting loss because we did think that this bill was going to make it. However, the vote was close, but ultimately we weren't able to win this one. We'll have to go try again next year and hope for the best, a lot like many of our other bills. Now, a little bit more on bills to look out for, or the bad bills that we were on the lookout for during this session. One of the bills, or rather, I guess, two of the bills that we've been talking about a lot on these updates specifically were bills coming out of Dominion, some bad Dominion bills. So these bills are SB 1265 and HB 1770, sponsored by Senator Saslaw and Delegate Kilgore, respectively. So these bills, a little bit about them in case you haven't heard of them. If you don't know, the SEC regulates the rates and profits of power companies like Appalachian Power and Dominion Energy because they are monopolies with no competition. And in the last review of Dominion's rates and profits, the SEC did approve a profit level or return of equity for Dominion of 9.35%. And what these bills will be doing is now automatically raising that profit level from 9.35% all the way to 10.07% without any scrutiny from the SEC, and also against SEC recommendations, which is kind of a big deal because the SEC is our state corporation commission for a reason, right? But this means a really big raise in costs for any utility projects and much more. So definitely did not want these bills to pass. Unfortunately, it looks like both of them will probably pass. Both of these bills are actually in conference right now. Both SB 1265 and HB 1770. These bills have been voted on and read many times, but it looks like there's been a lot of substitutions going back and forth between chambers. Approving these substitutions between the different chambers, the House and the Senate. So not sure where we stand quite yet after said conferences are completed. But that's where those bills are right now, unfortunately. And like I mentioned, this was very much a short session, but very much impactful. A lot of things have happened. A lot of bills have been passed, and a lot of bills have also been rejected, rather passed by indefinitely, for sure, in many cases. So hopefully we'll be able to build upon all of the work that we were able to accomplish in this session and bring it into next year with new energy and just building upon our efforts. So just to wrap things up, like I mentioned earlier, we are unsure whether or not this session is going to be extended or not. We do know, however, that the legislators are tired, as to be expected, as I can imagine many of the advocates also are. So we'll have to stay abreast of whether or not that will actually be coming into fruition or not, that extension. We shall see. But also, a quick round of applause to all of the legislators for all of their hard work and dedication, especially to the legislators who are doing this work from their hearts, and fighting for, equitable advancement of our communities and protecting our environment. And lastly, a very huge round of applause for everyone who took action with us this GA session, everyone who took the time to lobby, visit in person, call their legislators, respond to our action alerts, even just posting about our bills on your socials. All of these actions make a difference, and are very meaningful. So we really appreciate all of the support, and I'm sure our legislators do as well. So please stay in the know, stay up to date with VIPL, even though GA is starting to come to a close. We will not be having any more weekly update calls. I believe last week was our last call. So unfortunately, if you're looking forward to joining us next Monday, we won't be able to make it, but we will be back again, of course, and very many other ways you can participate with us. So be sure to join our supporters list. The link to join is in the comments. So please sign up, and so you can stay up to date with everything VIPL and find ways to get involved with us. And next week, we'll be coming back to you with our regularly scheduled EJ Now shows outside of General Assembly sessions. So we look forward to that, and we look forward for you all to join again next week and to join us in the work, hopefully upcoming. So everyone have a great weekend. Happy Friday, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.